This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive On-Location in New York City. I have with me Donald McCaffrey from Resverlogix Corporation. It's a publicly traded company. It's on the TSX, and the symbol there is RVX. And in the U.S., it's RVXCF. Donald, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you very much, Shelley. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you. So let's get an overview on Resverlogix.
All right, Resverlogix has been around about 15 years now, and our goal has been to solve the problem of the 70% unmet need in cardiovascular care. We're doing that with a drug called RVX 208, which is a single target but multimodal, where it is reverse cholesterol transport, takes the plaque out of the arterial wall. It also has very profound impact on anti-inflammatory, metabolic, and thrombotic.
How is this disease treated now before Resverlogix?
Well, when I say it's 70% unmet need, the 30% that is taken care of by statins, so Crestor, Lipitor, that class of drug. There's some new ones coming out called PCSK9s. They'll take a little sliver of that 70%, but they're very expensive biologics. We're a small molecule that's multimodal, and it has the effectiveness of being a cheap small molecule compound.
How fast does it get to market? I mean, obviously we have an audience that wants to know things of that variety.
Well, we're now starting phase 3, and it's taken about 12 years to get here, so it's a very slow process. But once you're in phase 3, it moves very fast. The timeline on this will be about 2.5 years for our phase 3 program, which starts almost immediately.
So I want to get back to this unmet need factor. Who are your competitors?
Well, fortunately, we don't have any in the bet-bromodomain space, so we're about 8 years ahead of the potential closest competitor.
So what are you doing about financing in terms of, obviously, these are expensive, these trials?
Yes, they are. To date, we've raised over $300 million for this program, and 50 of it just last month we closed on a financing that was actually at a 40% premium to market.
So where are these trials being conducted?
We've already run trials in 11 countries around the world, and we're adding about 13 new ones. So it'll be mostly in Europe. It'll include Israel, Australia, Taiwan.
So from the standpoint of the size of the market financially and the amount of patients that are affected by it, what are some of those numbers?
Well, it's the #1 killer in the world, and that's male or female. So in the U.S. alone, it's over $400 billion per year in expense to the medical system. And that excludes the diabetes population, which 68% of all diabetics will die from cardiovascular disease.
So is this a drug, once approved, that people will take as a preventative measure?
Well, initially, our first indication is we're asking for reduction of MACE events. That's major adverse cardiac events. And in our trial, we run a very tight schedule. We're showing the tightest MACE results. That'll only include death, myocardial infarction or heart attack, and stroke.
What's your background?
My background comes from the business side. I co-founded the company 15 years ago. Had no idea it would take as long as it does, but I'm very glad we're going into phase 3.
What did you do before this?
I ran international conferences, and I was running a conference for biotechnology. I came across this technology and helped seed it and got it going from that point.
You know, I think that it's such you say it's the #1 disease. I'm sure that many of our viewers are totally aware of the fact that there's people in their family, their friends. I'm sure you hear all of these heartfelt stories. What do? Direct them to the website to find out more information?
Yes, if it's appropriate, we direct them to clinical trial sites if they qualify. And in this case, it's diabetics with low HDL, and the sites will be around the world.
Let's get back to the fact that you're going to be in clinical trials for 2.5 years. What are some of the things that happen during those 2.5 years while it's in phase 3 trial?
Oh, good question. 2.5 years does seem a long time, but we have planned very well for it. Many inflection points. We will be doing some orphan trials, and we've done a lot of study. We have the only blood bank for epigenetic treated patients up to 6 months. So we've been able to go in and really study the genetics and understand what the advantages are and what different indications we can go after. So there will be a lot of data happen during that 2.5 years.
So let's get more information out to our public. What is your website?
The website is www.resverlogix.com. That's RESVERLOGIX.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald McCaffrey, Resverlogix Corporation. It's a publicly traded company. It's RVX on the TSX and RVXCF in the U.S. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live on location in New York City. Donald, thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure, Shelley.
Good to have you.
Thank you.